Welcome back, friends. This is Melanie with Melanie Stamps, and today we have the brand new, versatile, beautiful wreath collection designed by a good friend of mine, Suzanne Hue. This collection has 5 die sets in total. This first die set is, of course, Build a Wreath. The Build a Wreath set has all of these different foliage pieces to create your actual wreath. Then it has the 3 actual flowers that it includes. This set has 17 dies in it, and it creates so many different wreaths. That's why I call this the versatile wreath collection, even though it's called the beautiful wreath collection. This set has so many options. It is just unfathomable how much you can do with this die set. I have not even scratched the surface. These 3 flowers include both the fall and the spring. You have a sunflower and you have 2 other small buds. The additional sets, this Halloween wreath has 20 dies in it. 20 dies. Can you believe that? The hat is amazing. And from the first die set, where you would build your wreath, Suzanne has even included kind of a spooky branch to where you can use it to create that sample that's similar on the front, where it has this spooky look to it, which I think is genius. Now, for this set here, this is the Christmas add-on, and I'm excited about this one. This one has 25 pieces in it. That's crazy. I love the sentiment size in these dies. And check this out. This ornament, when you add it to the top of the snowman's face, to the bottom of his face, it creates a full snowman. Is that not genius? It has everything you need: the scarf, the eyes, the nose, the brim of the hat, the decorative part of the hat. Then you have your poinsettias, you have your snowflakes. Every single set here has a different style bow. You have that little extra piece that comes out of the ornament. There is so much here. This is my favorite set, of course, because it's florals, and I design with florals all year round. We will be using this in a separate card today, the Garden Wreath add-ons. It has 27 dies, people. These have some of the most unusual Spellbinders flowers I've ever seen. I love that some of the branches go one direction and some go another. There's actually another wreath piece in here that can create a leaf wreath, which I thought was genius. It gives us another option. And then this birthday add-on, I am going to make a really fun card with this. So you're going to want to watch my bonus cards at the end, and let me show you what I have come up with this one. So do not X out of this video. You have got to see this card. It has everything you need here for birthdays. You can use this in conjunction with all of your other sets too, and I'm going to show you just how easy that is here at the end. So for our first card, of course, I wanted to make a Christmas card. So I have already started the card just to help with the length of the video. I'm using the essential circles, and I just cut a window out of the front of my card. I have put an embossing folder behind it to give us extra texture and dimension. I thought that was a really pretty look. And so there's not a full window here. It's just to give us the illusion of the wreath. So I've already attached the base layer of the wooden sticks portion of the wreath, and we've made some poinsettia flowers here. I've made the larger one in this red foil card. It's a mirror card, and I'm showing you here how you can pinch these flower petals to actually get more dimension out of them. Now, I'm not going to do it to the little ones, but I did it to the large one, so it sticks up just a little bit more, and that way we can slide the little ones just under the edge of it. So we can have like a little bouquet going on here. So we're going to put 3 of those here in the top right, and then we're going to use our green foliage wreath pieces as accents to those, which will give more fullness to our wreath. Now in the bottom left, I'm going to use 2 flowers. So we have an odd number. I think that for design purposes, I like that. Plus we have the snowman there at the bottom. So I wanted to leave room for him and it not get too busy. It's already kind of busy because of the background paper, which happens to be just a paper I picked up, honestly, at Hobby Lobby. I don't usually shop paper at Hobby Lobby, but they had some that I saw for Christmas and I saw some pretty pieces in it and it was like $5. So I went ahead and picked it up. I don't usually do that, but I'll be honest, I did. So I'm tucking these little pieces under the edges going both directions to go along with our wreath shape, and it really gives a fullness, but you can still see the wooden branches of the wreath as well, which gives it that winter feel. So you've got the brown going on, you've got the green going on, really makes it feel like a winter wreath, which it really coordinates with my paper as well, which I really liked. And then I used a lot of the mirror card also on the snowman, which helps him pop up off of the paper as well. So the greeting in the center is the sentiment from the set. And I love the size. The size is really good. And I did not use the shadow die. I just used the inside of the sentiment there. But the sentiments that come with this set are just lovely. The sizing is perfect. Just you will use them outside of this collection as well. And I didn't mention it, but this collection has 113 dies in all. Can you believe that? That is like out of the park amazing. Uh, Suzanne, I don't know how you did it, girl. This is a blowout to me. I mean, this is gonna like run off the shelves. So if you like this, I would grab it because this is just a set you're gonna use over and over and over year long. And we all know how difficult it is to make a wreath. I mean, come on. We have bought wreath dies and they're always the same size. And well, this has options and we can make any size wreath. I've even gone down a size on this one here and done, you could do a 3-leaf even, which will be tiny, and you can even go bigger. So I love that. And I just love the way it turns out. So here we're using the spring set. And for this one, I've went with really soft colors. I really wanted a muted wreath. And I'm using the Popular Sentiments, that's the name of it, with the notched center or the notched corner frames. I love this set. And I'm using on a 5x7. So since I did that, I'm putting the sentiment along the bottom to fill my space. Now for this wreath, I decided to do 2 layers, and I was just showing you there, it's very simple to line these wreaths up. All you have to do is tuck in that stem underneath the tip of the previous stem, and it almost is like made for each other. They line up so easily, and that's all I'm doing here. I just put glue on the center line, and then I'm just cutting, well, I actually put glue on the wrong side there. I wipe it off here in a second when I realize it. But yeah, user error. But we all have to learn, right? But my idea is right. I'm just hadn't changed the side of the glue. But that, just as a guideline, like if you're just beginning, that worked perfectly. And it's just a quick tip to, if you're struggling at all to make a circle, that worked with 4 pieces, and just tucking the end under the beginning of 4 pieces makes your perfect circle. And it worked. It's awesome. So I did that, and then for the second layer, I used a mirror card that's almost the same hue as this color, which is like kind of a sage, I would say, a real light sage color. And the foil I'm using, the mirror card I'm using is from Tonic Studios. I will try to remember to have a link to them. I do love their mirror card. And I'm making a note of it right now, so I do not forget for you. But the second layer is going to go right on top of that, but I'm going to offset the branches. That way it gives us fullness, but it also allows both colors to shine through because they're similar colors, but one is shiny and one is matte. So I wanted to make sure it had depth and dimension, even though it's really close in color way. The color is very similar, but this just gives it a little extra oomph, is the way I'm putting it. And I also did not put the branches on top of each other exactly in the same place. In other words, where the two met up before, I put the middle of the branch the second time so that it is completely a different circle, even though the circles are still glued together the same and being the same size, if that makes any sense. So that just allows to where it doesn't look like a branch is just sitting on top of another branch. I wanted it to really look authentic. And it's super easy to do with this set. I mean, it is very user-friendly. It's timeless. It's going to be something you grab. If not for the wreath pieces, for everything else, because the stuff is loaded. So I love these little pieces. Oh, here, I had this in my stash of wax seals, and it just coordinated really well with the yellow I chose. So I went ahead and used it. And I'll put a link here in the upper right hand corner for my Wax Seal 101 video if you're interested in learning how to do wax seals. It's something I've just started doing recently. So I am just putting 2 of my purple flowers on either side of that. I've used 2 of Spellbinders Essential cardstocks for my flowers there. And I also used some more of Tonic's mirror card for the purple blooms. I've also used some silver mirror card from Spellbinders for the centers of the flowers. So I'm just gluing these in place, and then I'm going to put the 2 purple flowers down, and then we will put the seal right in the middle. And I put the purple flowers down first because I need to make sure that seal is going to be able to attach. So I want to make, I'm being really careful there because I'm wanting to try to make a flat surface for that seal. And as I said, I'm just getting into sealing, so this is a new thing for me. And it actually worked really, really well because those are giving it 2 even sides for that to attach to. And then for the difference in height, I use some foam squares for top and bottom. And then I add a little extra glue to the foam squares as well. So those are the baby foam squares from Spellbinders. So I'm making sure it's level. And then I'm going to add lots of glue. And I always use lots of my Barely Art glue when I'm attaching my wax seals. Put a little bit more there on the foam dots, and then I'm going to attach it there, and I'm also going to put a acrylic block on top there while we are working on the top right corner. So those are my little yellow flowers, and in the center of those I used a piece of the patterned cardstock that I have underneath. I've used a couple of Basil's cardstocks that I had in my stash, both for the background and also for that craft color. Both of them. And the craft has like a polka dot emboss look to it. And so I die cut the center of those little yellow flowers out of that. And so you have the little texture to the centers, which is kind of cute. So I'm just trimming off a little of that excess there. And we're going to just glue these flowers right on. And position these in the upper right hand corner, and that'll balance out our wax seal there on the left. The only thing about this card that bothered me is I felt like it was missing something in the center, but because I had I originally had made a bow for it, which is over there on the left, but because I put the wax seal on there, I didn't feel like the bow worked. So you know me, I always like to be different, but I do feel like it's missing something in the center. And it's just a little bit bare to me, but because it's a 5x7, I wanted the sentiment at the bottom. So the wax seal does say just for you or for you, one or the other. And then see there, you can see the pattern papers, the background, and the yeah, it says for you, and then the sentiment says just for you. So I thought that went along good. Now for my bonus cards, dun da da da. I got to show you these. I'm in love with my bonus cards. Check this out. I am so in love with this, guys. I had to use the Dancing and Gifting mouse again. Her birthday items. Suzanne, you rock. I love these. Now it took me a minute to figure out that hat on his head. I had to cover up his tall ear and bring his add-on ear down to fit his hat on, but I finally figured it out. So you could just cut off the top ear or the front ear. But look, this one's dancing. My other one in my last video with the dancing Christmas collection had him on top of his present and he wasn't dancing. So now he's dancing. I used those dazzling dots in the background for some nice texture. And the bow is with glitter card, which is adorable. The balloons were the perfect size. And of course, the happy birthday sentiment is with a shadow there. And I just love it. That is the happy birthday that comes with the collection. And then this one, I adore this card. I have used the garden wreath here again with the serenade sentiments. And then on these flowers, I actually inked them in manganese blue, vibrant fuchsia, magenta hue, and deep purple archival inks. So I added some blending to those flowers, and all of those colors are essential cardstocks from Spellbinders, and I just picked the brightest and the prettiest, and that's what I went with. And got some silver cardstock there for the tops of my Serenade sentiments. Love that set. It's my favorite sentiments this month. It is a new release also. I'll make sure to link it down below. That is a keeper set, and it works perfect with these wreaths as well. And for that, I use the stylish classic ovals with the Infinity Punch and Pierce plate. And I raised up that center section and used the ovals as a background to the centerpiece so that you couldn't see through it. And then I was able to tuck all the flowers underneath, and I really think it turned out great. So here are my 4 cards using the beautiful Wreath collection by Suzanne Hue. She is a dear friend of mine, and I'm so proud of her. Here's all 4 of my cards. I'd love to know which is your favorite. Leave me a message down below. Bye-bye, guys.